I'm going to try to keep this brief. But the reason I need to make this video is for the simple fact that I've been in business now for 4 years. Been doing weddings for 3, full-time now. Second year full-time this year, 2023. People are like, whoa. But what I've experienced in those 2 years seems like enough for a lifetime. That being said, this video is geared and for the bride and grooms that have been shopping and they get that great deal. It's really not that great of a deal when you end up with losing out on money, time, and nothing delivered to you. So, that being said, I feel like a lot of brides and grooms, a lot of couples that I've seen online that have gotten scammed by these companies. The newest one we've all heard, Tolman Media, looks to be the new scammer on the block. But so last year, I was unfortunately had the the ill pleasure, can't think of the word right there, but I did 7 weddings for Petty 4 Films. Last year was my first year full time. Was looking to fill up the rest of my dates for July and June and August. I had a couple of weekends. So in all, I did 7 weddings for Petty 4 Films. And in the beginning, it was even a little suspicious. I wish I would have dug just a little bit deeper into these guys and went to Reddit and some other, but the red flags were right away within the first week, especially the stipulations that they were putting on us. For 72 hours you had to upload. Anyways, doing all that. Oh, look, there's George. But I've been needing to get this out there that I as I was distracted, Petty 4 Films owes me still thousands of dollars. I understand and have been doing this long enough, and obviously anyone with any real common sense understands that wedding days are so important when it comes to being able to capture those moments. And capturing those moments like on a wedding day, you just don't. That's why, my wife, second shooter, she gets kind of like, why are you? I said, because when you get in that mode, you guys know that once you do it long enough, you find a groove and you get a mode and you just become so entrenched in it. And I'm so particular during ceremony because, let's be honest, those moments we know you can't redo those. We've staged in fake things and posed, but ceremony is like, it's just there's no redos. It's unless you're willing to pay the venue and all that. I digress. But I shot all 7 of those weddings, didn't get fully paid. I've been fully paid on 2 weddings of the 7. of those 7 weddings, I kept all of my footage because I understood how important the day was. And to this day, February 21st, I still have 2 weddings I'm sitting on because they've all communicated to me, except for the one now, which that just happened about a little over a month ago. They want me to hold on to it. They've paid me to hold on to it. And I just understand how important it is. Now, my point of really, really making this video is that there is things that you need to do as bride and grooms when it comes to shopping around. I understand budget plays in a big factor. And then sometimes budget, I mean, in my cases, there's been a handful. But do your homework. Have conversations with the person in the first 48, at least 72 hours. If you are like, all right, this is who I want, I need to speak to that person and on the phone. Now, I know some of you don't like to talk on the phone. I know sometimes it can get uncomfortable, but for your wallet, for your money's sake, take the time. And if that vendor, videographer, photographer, is worth their salt, they're going to be okay with getting on the phone with you. They're not going to look to scam you, or they're not going to be, there's not going to be a middleman where here's your videographer doing your wedding for you. We had some Google calls and became uncomfortable when they didn't know exactly what the bride and groom was wanting, and I'm sitting there like, I'm not speaking for you. Anyways, have those conversations with that vendor because of the simple fact you will get your red flags in that phone call. You need to ask them, how long have you been doing this? Do you have any references? Is a big one now that I am personally trying to get more reviews, trying to actually have couples, families that I filmed for, having them be in my back pocket for that moment of, hey, do you have anybody we could talk to who worked with you? And you know what? It may sound a little bit like, what do you mean, you don't trust me? No, it's not that. It's just that where we're at as a society when it comes to Tolman Media, Petty Four Films, these companies are scamming not just a couple. We're talking thousands upon thousands of people. So the heightened awareness is at an all, for me and for everyone out, it's at an all-time high because of these companies. I call them the puppy mills of the wedding industry. We all know what a puppy farm or a puppy mill is. They just turn and burn. So have your conversations with them. Understand what you're getting and your timetable of your deliverables. So that being that if you're going to get your 60-second sneak peek or whatever the deliverables, make sure that they're very, very black and white. Know what you're paying for and what you're getting. Don't be afraid to ask, because here's what Petty Four was doing, as I found this out, is that X amount of dollars, but if you pay in full, it was almost like 50% off. So for example, I went and shot in Columbus, and this bride said that the one that's actually I'm still holding the footage for, and she's basically said that I can't afford you because I gave her my price basically of what Petty Four was going to deliver. And she said, well, that's double than what we paid for. And my price was, I feel like my price is very, very comparable to my skill set, my line, my market. And she said that we can't afford to do anything right now. We'll revisit in a couple of months. Well, that couple of months was just about a little over a month ago, and text message after text message, because I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm trying to be understanding, and trying to, and the frustrating part about that one was that that I actually helped that bride get her money back. And yeah, she was one of the very few of the people that I shot for, the petty fours that got their money back. Anyways, so ask the questions of the deliverables. Do you have, and the big one, like I was back to my point, was having them have a reference. If somebody that they've worked with that is, that they can call and contact to say, hey, can I just, I have their number, or can I have their email to contact them and their experience? That's why, when I ask people to leave reviews about me, my business, me providing that service, be as detailed as you would like, but the more detailed, the better for me. And I greatly appreciate just tell your overall start to finish experience from the first time you messaged me, or it came in contact, with the last mailing out your wedding film to you. Just be2open and honest. That's what I want. Because transparency in this industry is very lackluster. It's just, well, this is what I can provide, and technically it's not. There's a lot of people that are, that I'm experiencing, that are scamming, they're stealing photos, stealing video clips from, they're just blatant about it too. There's a couple of groups on Facebook you can find where it's called photo stealers. The people that advertise that their line of work and it's not them, and they stole it from another photographer. Anyways, so having that transparency from the vendor is crucial. Understanding what they're going to deliver to you. And then having, the common courtesy as a vendor to being open about, okay, this is what you're getting. This is what we're going to provide. And them not saying, hey, we're going to, a week before the wedding. This stuff, especially if it's done right, it takes time. I know there's some brides that have been planning for 2 and 3 years. They've been engaged, and they've got their venue, they've got their planner, they've got their florist, they've got their linens, that stuff takes time. So if that video company, photography company they've been non-communicating, I don't care if it's 6 months, a year, if they've been basically non-existent that entire process of knowing, hey, do you have a timeline built yet? Or is your wedding planner going to have that timeline? Do you have that timeline ready? I'd like to, be put into that timeline, and here's some things that I would like to be done. If they're not doing that, red flag. So just have that in your mind. And probably the last piece of advice I could give: shop local. There is a lot of good local talent. Meaning this: if they're within 100 to 150 miles, one direction, because I travel. If they're within that range, try them out, or at least start those communicating process for that vendor that needs to be done. Just know where they're at. Are they in the state? Are they relatively close in the state? Petty Four Films was in Illinois. I don't even know where Tolman Media was. I don't even know their headquarters. But see, Petty Four had spots in all over the country, but their base, according to their LLC, was in Illinois. So, recapping on what I talked about. Do your due diligence with your vendor shop, especially photos and videos. There is a lot, because there's a new guy, there's a new unfortunate out there. And I'm not trying to talk bad about them. I know I've dropped some names, but so has other people dropped names. But I'm making this video for personally myself, to you, the potential individuals out there shopping for a photographer or videographer. Do your homework and get on the phone. And if you're get all of the details squared away. And I mean, if it's the old adage is you get what you pay for, but sometimes you can get stuff that is like, oh wow, that's better than I thought it was going to be, but those are far and few between. The other part of it is that you need to do your due diligence throughout the entire process. If you have a wedding planner and she is kind of the one that is wrangling all of that takes a wedding day, that goes into a wedding day, and she's tackled upon doing that, if she's not getting responses, or she's been hired to find your photographer, videographer, DJ, even there's some DJs out there too that I've seen. Make sure you're communicating with her like, hey, how are we coming along with that? And shop local. Please shop local if you can. If you really like someone's work, shop local, because from one small business entrepreneur to another, we greatly appreciate it. We really, really do. And I guess that's kind of all I was going to say. But keep an eye out. Just know what you're getting into. Know what you're signing. And if it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true, the deal. So, love everyone. God bless. And happy 2023 wedding season. I've already kicked off. Got one in West Virginia tomorrow. God bless.